We started off our training on January 24th by doing what we call the Camino de Tennessee Valley Miwok Trail. We decided to jump into the fire with a hilly hike to really kick off the training regimen. It was about a 300-meter climb and then a drop back down. About 4 miles over 2 hours of hiking. The uphill was tough going with some very narrow, gouged-out trail sections. We took it real slow and made it. On January 28, 2023, we hiked the Camino de Bear Valley out towards Arch Rock and back, a total of 7 miles. There had been lots of rain in the past 2 weeks, and it made this hike rather wet and muddy. I've never seen so many trees down. The creeks were really full. Awesome sound effects and smells. Lots of people out today were looking for mushrooms. February 11th, 2023, we did the Camino O'Hare, and that involved a 4.4-mile loop through O'Hare Park and over the top to Center Avenue and back. We hiked with Will's puppy raisers, Robert and Gretchen. I wore my new Merrill Moabs, and my feet got a tad too hot. Will need to adjust my socks for the next time. February 12th, 2023, did the Camino de Angel Island, a total of 7 miles with Will's puppy raisers, Gretchen and Robert. We took the early ferry from Tiburon over to Angel Island and did the perimeter hike with a visit to the immigration station there. February 13th, 2023, the Camino de Bear Valley, one of my favorite hikes of about 4 miles. February 14th, 2023, the Camino de Hamilton, about 4 miles over what was previously known as the Hamilton Air Force Base. February 18th, 2023, Camino de Mount Burdell. From our house, we walked up the hill to the top of Mount Burdell and then back down. A good ascent and a steep descent. Good workout. Get ready for the hills of the Camino Frances. March 11th, 2023, Camino de Casco, 12.7 miles, or as Teresa calls it, the Trail of Tears. Except for sore footpads and toes, no other complications. Started out with a walk to the Bacon Restaurant for breakfast, a healthy frittata and cappuccino for tea, and not-so-healthy chocolate chip pancakes for Craig. Then off to Costco to pick up new lenses. On our return trip, we took the long way home via the Indian Valley College and backcountry lane roads. Total time about 6 hours, with over an hour of eating and shopping at Target and Costco. Our average pace was about 2.6 miles per hour. March 18th, 2023, Camino de los Lagos. 10.5 miles in 5 hours, including a 1/2 hour snack break. Once again, time to be out there hiking for extensive time and miles, trying to get used to being on our footsies for 4 to 6 hours. Today we visited the Mount Tam watershed. I am still experiencing some sore toes on my left foot, so made sure to wear wool socks over the toe socks. Also added some padding to my left foot pinky toe. Boots held up to the last few miles where I experienced hot feet. We took our packs, so I had running shoes to switch into, and that really helped. Today's hike went past 3 lakes: Phoenix Lake with a huge climb up to Fish Grade Trail, to Bontempi Lake, and then Lagunitas Lake. Awesome waterfalls and perfect hiking weather. Only about 50 days till our adventure begins.
Hi.
March 26, 2023, Camino de O'Hare Redux. Another week has gone by with plenty of rain and busy lives hampering our training. We managed to get in 2 weekend hikes, 5 on Saturday and about 6.5 on Sunday. The Sunday hike was 6.5 miles in about 3 hours. It was very enjoyable. Weather was sunny. Yay. We did some of O'Hare Park. We did the Little Mountain Trail and the switchbacks and the steep downhill next to the golf course. Feeling pretty good today with the ascents and descents. April 1st, 2023, our preparation continues with the Camino de Bolinas Ridge. We're only about a month away from our adventure. April 2nd, 2023, Camino de Hamilton and Ammo Hill, 8.7 miles in 3.5 hours. We continued to emphasize some hills, including Ammo Hill. Pacing was faster than yesterday. Wore toe socks and running shoes without adding merino wool socks. Very little discomfort today. Teresa with a little soreness in her arch after wearing the Merrells. With back-to-backs, we were a bit sore, but not too bad. April 15th, Camino de Papi, 4 miles in about 2.5 hours. We're getting closer to heading out for Spain. 20 to 30 days more before we fly east. We can't wait. Now that the rains have subsided somewhat, we have attempted to remain vigilant and get out of the house for a hike. Guessing we are tapering a bit right now. April 23rd, 2023, Camino de Mariposas y Floras, 5.47 miles in 3 hours. We started at Cavallo Point, lots of uphill, which is good practice for the long climbs on the Camino. We saw an abundance of flowers and a beautiful butterfly, no mission blue butterfly. We wore boots, which is good for rocky terrain. My balls of my feet were a bit hot, but they recovered well with a few minutes rest.